Hi, this is Amit, and today we are going to see an amazing chess puzzle composed by Troitzky in the year 1896. I would request all the viewers to watch this video till the end in order to understand all the variations, tactics, and the endgame themes used by white to win the game. So, this position is white to play and win. You can pause the video in order to calculate the variations. White plays knight to d4. Now here, any move black plays, he is going to lose the game after this move. If black captures the knight, so white plays pawn to e6, king c5, a7, king to b6, and a8 queen. So that pawn was unstoppable. After knight to d4, if black decides to move the bishop, he has various options now. He can move his bishop either on h6, he can move his bishop either on f8, or he can move his bishop on h8. Let's look at all the variations one by one. If black plays bishop to h8, white plays knight to f5. With this move, the bishop can't go anywhere else because his diagonal has been blocked by his own pawn and he can't come on g7 because knight is controlling that square. So if black decides to capture the pawn by playing king to b5, white plays king to g3, king into a5, king into h3, king b5, king g4, king c5, king h5, king d5, king g6, and black plays king to e5. Now what white wants is to play king over h7 and capture the bishop, but that is not possible now because if I'll play this move, black will capture the knight. So white should play pawn to h4. Black's bishop is anyways not having any other option. So let's say black plays king to e6. In that case, we can go for h5. Remember one thing, black can't play king over d7 because in that case white can simply play king to h7 and the bishop is trapped. So in that case black's bishop is gone and then white can win the game easily. And if he comes back on this square, white can simply play knight to g7 check, king f7 and king into h8. And this pawn is soon going to be the queen. After pawn to h5, black plays king to e5, h6, king e6, white goes for knight to g7 check, king e7, and now king to h7. We are threatening to capture the bishop now, and if black bishop captures our knight, in that case we'll capture with the pawn f5 and it's a queen where white can win the game easily now. As I already said that there are many variations and we need to understand each and every one of them. After knight to d4, if black plays bishop to f8, in that case white can simply play knight to e6 check and it's a fork. Black goes for the pawn, white will win the bishop and the game. If black plays bishop to h6, which is the main variation, white plays king to f3. Now black has many variations and in all the variations white is going to win the game. If black captures the knight, in that case we can win the game in the same way by playing pawn to a6, king c5, pawn a7, king b6 and white's darling is on the board. If black decides to move his bishop, he has various options now. He can move his bishop either on f8 or g7, or he can move his bishop on g5, d2 or c1. e3 and the f4 square has been already controlled by the king, so that moves are not possible. If black plays bishop to f8, in that case white will play knight to e6 where knight is poking black's king and the bishop. White will win the game easily. If black plays bishop to g7, in that case white will again play knight to e6 check and white's knight is again giving fork to the black's king and the bishop. If black plays his bishop either on c1 or d2 square, in that case white can again play knight to b3 check and he's giving fork to the black's king and the bishop. In the same way, if black plays bishop to d2, white plays knight to b3 check and it's again a fork, white will win the bishop. Now the main variation for black is to play bishop to g5. Here white plays knight to e6 check. As we are already threatening to promote this pawn into the queen, so black has to go on this side to capture the pawn. White plays knight into g5, f into g5, king g4, king into a5. In this position, again white has to be careful. If white will not play properly, the game will end into a draw. The correct move for white is to play king into h3. If I capture this pawn first, in that case the game will end into a draw. Let's see how. Black plays king to b4. If white plays king to h4 to capture the pawn and then he decides to promote this pawn into a queen, black plays king to c4, king into h3, king d5, king g4, king e6, king g5, king f7. Make a note. In king and pawn ending, if white is having a rook pawn and black successfully reaches the g8 or h8 square, it's going to be a draw. Let's see how. h4, king h8, h5, king g8. White makes a room for the pawn to go. So king to g6, king h8, h6, king g8, h7 check, king h8 again. If white king goes anywhere else, he is going to capture the pawn for free. And if white plays king to h6, it's going to be a stalemate. Black's king can't go on g8 square as it has been controlled by a pawn. g7 and h7 square is been controlled by a king. So it's a stalemate. Let's go back and see how white could have won the game. So in this position, the correct move for white is to play king into h3 first. Black plays king to b5, king g4, king c5, and then king into g5. Now if black goes for king to d6 with the same idea, he is late now. White plays king to g6, king e7, king g7, and white's king is on time. If black plays king to e6, white should go for h4, king f5, h5, king g5, and h6. On time, the pawn gets the support of white's king. Now black plays anything, it doesn't matter. h7, king e6, and h8 queen. Now white is clearly in a winning position. Let me know in the comment section below how many of you are able to solve this position. That's it for the day, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.